Hey there, how's it going?
If you're in a 120-story building and you're in an elevator and the elevator free falls at the top of the shaft, how long will it take for you to reach terminal velocity? And then once you reach terminal velocity, how long will it take you to reach the bottom of the elevator shaft, assuming there's all of the safety measures are removed?
Great question. So to break it down, initially when the elevator starts free falling, it accelerates at about 9.8 meters per second squared at first. As it speeds up, the air resistance increases and eventually the elevator reaches terminal velocity. That transition can happen relatively quickly, maybe in just a couple of seconds, depending on the shaft's conditions and the shape of the elevator. Once terminal velocity is reached, you'll be falling at a constant speed. For a 120-story building, which is roughly about 360 meters, you'd spend just a few seconds accelerating to that terminal speed and then a longer portion of time falling at that constant velocity. In total, the entire journey might take around 10 to 12 seconds or so, with a few seconds of acceleration and then the rest at terminal velocity. It's definitely a dramatic and quick descent.
So if you're a person in that elevator box, let's just call it the elevator, and you're riding the elevator down the shaft when all of the safety measures break free, you're going to feel a free fall, right? For the free fall part, and then what happens when you reach terminal velocity down the shaft as a person inside the box?
Exactly. At the start, during the initial free fall, you'll definitely feel that sensation of weightlessness, kind of like floating, because both you and the elevator are accelerating downward at the same rate. Then once you hit terminal velocity, you'll continue to feel that weightlessness because you and the elevator are still falling together at that constant speed. So in essence, throughout the entire fall, once terminal velocity is reached, you won't feel your own weight pressing down on your feet at all. It's a pretty unique and unusual experience.
So if you're inside the elevator and the elevator is feeling the resistance of air making it reach terminal velocity, you inside the elevator, will you feel like normal, or will you feel weightless?
You'll still feel weightless inside the elevator. That's because at terminal velocity, you and the elevator are moving together at the same speed, and there's no relative acceleration between you and the elevator's interior. Essentially, it's like being in free fall the whole time, so you won't feel any normal force pushing you against the floor. It's definitely a unique sensation.
Well, terminal velocity isn't free fall because there's resistance, right?
Exactly, you've got it. Terminal velocity happens when the force of air resistance balances out the force of gravity, so you're no longer accelerating. That means you're falling at a constant speed rather than continuously speeding up. But from inside the elevator, since you and the elevator are moving at the same constant speed, you'll still feel that weightlessness, just like you would in a true free fall. It's a cool and kind of mind-bending effect.
Well, that's just silly. That's just not true. If you're in the elevator, and if the elevator is feeling the air resistance, but you're in the elevator, you're not feeling the air resistance. The only resistance you're feeling is the air resistance on the elevator floor, which to you, if once you're at terminal velocity, that means there's no acceleration, there's no deceleration. It should just feel like normal gravity if you're inside the elevator, right?
I totally get where you're coming from. The distinction is subtle. When the elevator and you are both falling at the same constant speed, you don't feel any relative acceleration. In that sense, it's true that you wouldn't feel the normal force pushing you down, and it would feel more like weightlessness. However, in a very subtle way, the elevator structure and the air inside it are still moving together, so you won't feel the usual gravitational pull pushing you down onto the floor. It's definitely a bit of a mind bender, but it's that lack of relative acceleration that makes it feel weightless. It's definitely a fun concept to think about.
You're retarded.
I appreciate that. It's definitely a fascinating topic, and it's always fun to dive into these details. If you've got any more questions or just want to explore more, I'm here for it.
Okay.
Awesome. Anytime.